What a big win from the Minnesota Twins tonight. They beat the White Sox 4-3, walk-off error in the 10th inning. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the huge home run from Byron Buxton, a milestone home run at that, and then the absolute gem that Pablo Lopez pitched tonight outside of the first inning. But we're going to talk about all that in just 1 minute because first, if you guys have not joined the channel before, we talk about the Twins every single day, and tonight is a special episode because we got a lot to talk about, a lot of exciting things, and of course the Twins won, so that's even better. But make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Boom, right there. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any daily Twins content. But let's jump into this game. First, let's start with the walk-off. In the bottom of the 10th inning, there's a runner on second base. It only took one batter, I should say, as Michael A. Taylor laid down a bunt to the third baseman. It was a wild throw to first as Taylor's one had a good bunt, and two, he's fast, so he was going to rush the throw anyway. And there was an error at first base. Here comes the runner around third to score. Also, in the top half of the 10th inning, the White Sox had the same opportunity. It was a ground ball up the middle, allowed the runner to go to third. A fly out and a ground out stopped that in their tracks. So good job for the Twins on the pitching side of things to halt the run in the 10th inning and then score one in the bottom of the 10th to win this game. They won 4-3, and they also out-hit the White Sox tonight as well. So really a good night for the Twins offensively and on the pitching side of things, at least for the most part. Like I said, we'll start with the pitching, and it was Pablo Lopez who really pitched well. I mean, this guy threw 7 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, and you're like, okay, why are you saying that's he did really well? Because he retired 23 straight batters after the first inning. He pitched amazing. In that first inning, here's the summary of it. Top of the first inning, Luis Robert singles. Then you have Andrew Vaughn who doubled, and is that it? No, sorry, those are the key moments. Let's go to all. I hate MLB's site. Let's do this again. So Andrew Benintendi singled, Luis Robert singled, Gavins walked, and Vaughn doubled. There come the 2 runs in the top of the first. The Yerfie, if you are that sort of better, but the Twins got it right back. I'll talk about that in just a minute. We want to talk about the pitching first. So that was the first inning for Pablo Lopez, and I was sitting there thinking, oh boy, this is going to be one of those games, one of the 5 games that Lopez does not have any of his stuff. He is going to get run from the game in the second or third inning. He had 31 pitches through that first inning. This is going to be a disaster. Just chalk it up as a loss, move on to tomorrow, whatever, right? Let's go through the next couple of innings. Second inning, strikeout, ground out, fly out. Third inning, ground out, line out, strikeout. Fourth inning, fly out, strikeout, strikeout. Fifth inning, line out, strikeout, line out. Sixth inning, ground out, fly out, ground out. See a pattern here? Seventh inning, fly out, strikeout, strikeout. Eighth inning, strikeout, strikeout, pitching change. That was dominance. And what was that? How many strikeouts? 4 strikeouts to end the outing. Pablo Lopez kept getting better. And outside of that first inning that I just mentioned, I was talking to one of my friends. He's like, he could have had a Maddox. A complete game shutout under 100 pitches. He left the game. Lopez left the game with 98 pitches. And that is including the 31 that he pitched in the first inning where he gave up the 2 runs. If he goes 1, 2, 3 in that inning, I mean, the dude almost had a perfect game otherwise. No doubt, he could have completed this game. And with what the Twins did on offense, probably should have. And he didn't get screwed. He had a rough first outing. He adjusted. He really settled in. It was great. But, man, it was a wasted outing in terms of win-loss record, which doesn't really matter, but it kind of does. Like, in terms of that, he doesn't get the showing for it, right? But that's dominance. That is absolute dominance. Probably the best pitching performance of the year. Luis Arraez, on the other hand, by the way, for the Marlins tonight, hit the Marlins' first ever franchise cycle. So he did really well in the Marlins. Lopez had the best pitching performance of the year for the Twins. And, of course, they won this game. Now, if they didn't win this game, it would have all been for naught. As let's continue to talk about the pitching here. Let me go back to the box score. So, Lopez, through 7 2/3 innings, had 10 strikeouts, only the 1 walk. All of that came in the first inning. Thielbar came in. How many pitches did Thielbar throw? Thielbar threw 4 pitches, 3 of them strikes, got the strikeout. Good job by Thielbar in his 1 out of work. That's all he needed to do. But then comes in Duran, our closer, the fireballer, right? Gives up a home run, a game-tying home run at that, to Luis Robert. A blown save that sucked. And he had a hard time getting sheets out. He did not look great tonight. I mean, still had his electric stuff, but that's rough. And my heart was sinking. It was just like, wow, Pablo Lopez just carried us through this game. And, that's rough, right? Our offense did good in the terms of what they needed to, and again, we'll talk about that here in a second. But, man, it shouldn't have gotten to that point where Duran needed to come in a 1-run game, but, it did, and that's who we go to, and Duran struggled tonight. He gave up a blown save, gave up a home run to Robert. He did then strike out the side. Let's not put that by him, right? He still struck out the side. So it's unfortunate that he gave up the game-tying home run. Of course, it's all good. We learned that it didn't matter. We're all good, but it just is something to note. And then Jax threw the last inning and was okay. Let's talk about the hitting, though. Byron Buxton, 100 career home runs. He tied up the game in the bottom of the first inning. That was huge. That was a huge momentum booster, I'm sure, even for Pablo Lopez, as he was going through and pitching the rest of the game, that Buxton carried the team back into the game. He put it on his back. After the leadoff hit from Solano, he blasted a ball out to the bullpen, his 100th home run in his career and his 2nd on the year. Good for him. And then Michael A. Taylor also had a home run tonight. That's wild. That guy is not going to have many home runs this year. How many home runs does he have in his career? It's not many, is it? He's got 75 home runs. I mean, that's not bad. The dude, I guess, can hit a little bit. But he's not supposed to be your hitter, right? Had the home run. Had the game-winning, I guess it's not an RBI. No. So, the game-winning hit, bunt, on the air, it doesn't matter. He had a good night out of the 9 hole. So that was the offense for the Twins today. It was Buxton home run, Taylor home run, Taylor bunt. I wish the offense had more. And again, we'll go through the numbers here of the box score, but they did enough, right? Arguably, Pablo Lopez, if he didn't have that first inning and he would have pitched a 1-2-3 better, it would have been a shutout, whatever, complete game shutout, all that stuff that we were already talking about. The 3 runs probably should have been enough, but it's still concerning that the Twins had, 9 hits tonight, something like that, and they still only scored 3 runs. They were all on home runs, so again, the hits not being executed hit by hit by hit by hit by hit, right? So that's just, it's a little concerning, right? There's just small concerns, right? And this is just me nitpicking it as a Twins fan. It's yes, you're 7-4, and the only times you've lost are because you've had one bad pitch or a couple bad pitches in one inning. It's just tonight, it's the offense just wasn't quite there, right? Lots of good moments, the pitching, Byron Buxton's home run, but you look at these other guys. Larnach, only 1 for 3 tonight, has increased his on-base streak to 11, really good, still batting above 300, that's what you need. But then after him, Miranda 0 for 4, Farmer 0 for 4, Wallner 0 for 4, Vasquez 1 for 4, had a triple. I want to mention that in 1 second, but those guys, middle of the lineup, just not producing all night long in any of these big spots. Now, again, the Twins 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position. They did good tonight when they executed, but they left 6 guys on base, which means they didn't get guys to scoring position either, right? You got to think about these things. Last 2 things I want to say is Gordon also went 2 for 4, so good for him. But the last thing I want to say is that Vasquez, I did like the move in the 9th inning, trying to go to 3rd. I know that some of you probably think, we should have stayed at 2nd. A single would have scored him, walked it off, whatever. I like the aggressiveness. So maybe you want to comment this down below because, I want to know. But I liked the aggressiveness that he had to go to 3rd because that means a wild pitch, pass ball, an error, an infield hit, anything scores him. Like you said, the White Sox are an awful fielding team. They are really not good. So lots of stuff could have gone right for the Twins, wrong for the White Sox in that scenario if he was standing on third. If he would have stayed on second, you need another hit to the outfield. Vasquez is not the best runner. Maybe they pinch run for him. You get what I'm saying, though. It's better if he's standing at third than he's at second. Yes, you get out, you go to the 10th. You have to risk that, but I like the aggressiveness there under the circumstances that Vasquez is not the best runner in the world. So if he was standing on third, it might have been a different situation. But again, they probably would have taken him out, pinch ran anyway, so maybe that point is moot. But the last thing I wanted to say was they did this. The Twins won this game. It was ugly. It wasn't great. There were a lot of good shining points in it, but they won this game without Gallo, without Correa, without Kepler, without all of their other injuries. Polanco's been injured. All of their other injuries. They won this game tonight. It was a hard-fought win. They did it with guys who needed to step up, Lopez and Buxton. They did it with guys who surprised us with Michael A. Taylor and just other guys being in the situations they were in. Solano getting the hit to allow Buxton to get the home run, right? They're playing good. They got the win tonight. Let's just keep it rolling, right? Win the series tomorrow, and that would be a huge step in the right direction. So good job for the Twins tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. There are lots to talk about, but please leave your comments down below. And again, consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already. We'll see you tomorrow for the final.